Good morning, students. So welcome back to your online mathematics class. I hope you have done the previous exercise. You have followed the previous concepts. Have done the questions. Very good. Okay, so now today will start parallel lines and transversal. Okay, so we will study today parallel lines and transversal. Okay, first parallel lines I have already explained, but okay, I am explaining again. I told you clearly what is a line, what is a ray. Okay, so these two lines are parallel lines. Okay, they are not intersecting. Okay, they are parallel lines. And another important thing for parallel lines, students, remember the distance. Okay, the distance between these lines. Okay, this is always constant. Okay, remember for parallel lines. Okay, can you give example of parallel lines? If you see a ruled notebook of a registers. Okay, ruled notebook of your registers. Okay, you see the page, suppose this is your page. Okay, and that ruled lines. Okay, these lines. Okay, they are perpendicular, they are parallel to each other. Their distance is fixed. Okay, that is why they are parallel lines. Okay, always remember for parallel lines which do not intersect, that is also there. And another important thing you have to keep in mind is that the distance between parallel lines is always fixed, constant. Okay, this is very important. Okay, now what is a transversal line? Okay, let me rub this. I'll tell you then what is. So parallel lines are clear, students. These, okay. Parallel lines not necessarily horizontal, it can be vertical also. But by convention, we usually draw parallel lines horizontally. Okay, so these two vertical lines, these are also parallel lines because they are not intersecting and the distance between them is constant. Okay, that is fixed, it is not changing. Okay, that is why it is parallel lines. Are you following, students? Okay, so now let me rub this, then I'll tell you transversal also. Okay, suppose, okay, I'll tell you here. Suppose if I take these two lines, okay, if I take this line as M and I take this line as N, so what is a transversal line? Okay, let me change the name so that you can differentiate. A line, suppose if I draw this line which I'm drawing with green ink, can you see, students? Okay, let this line be L. Now this line L is called transversal if it intersects two parallel lines or more parallel lines. Okay, you can see this line M and line N. This is transversal. This L is transversal. Alright, a line which intersects two parallel lines at distinct points. See, this is a distinct point and this is a distinct point. Are you following, students? I am repeating again. Line M and N are parallel lines. Okay, I am not saying this transversal, I am saying this parallel. Transversal line is this line green with green ink. A line which intersect two parallel lines at distinct points. These are the distinct points, students. Okay, that is why this line L is called as a transversal. Are you following? Another thing, if I draw this figure, now if I can draw more than two parallel lines, okay, if I draw more than two parallel lines, okay, let me change the ink. If I draw more than two parallel lines, then this line with blue is called as transversal. Okay, are you following, student? The line with the blue is called as transversal. Okay, you should understand this and keep this in mind and carefully, because when we will solve questions we will be using this. Okay, without this we cannot solve questions. Okay, now if you see the parallel lines, either you see this or this, it is forming an angle. Okay, this is one angle formed by transversal and parallel line. This is one angle formed. So this is vertically opposite. Okay, similarly I'll tell you different types of angles formed by the transversal and parallel lines. This is one angle and this is another angle, so it is called as alternate interior angle. So all these different types of angles I will explain you, but for the timing you should be clear with this. Okay, what are parallel lines? Okay, what is a transversal? A line, transversal, a line which intersect two or more parallel lines at distinct points. These are the distinct points. Similarly here, these are the distinct points, okay, is called as a transversal. Okay, so now I will tell you different types of angles made by the transversal and parallel lines. Okay students, so I thought I will be telling you different types of angles. The first angle we will study is corresponding angles. So what are corresponding angles? Okay, corresponding angle, and this is short form for angles. Okay, so we will study corresponding angles. Now suppose if I draw a parallel line, starting from here. Okay, this is one parallel line and this is another parallel line. Okay, and this is called as transversal. Okay, now you should be clear with the students. This is arrow. Okay, now I'll tell you the angles. So this angle and this angle is corresponding angles. Okay, line, I told you transversal and parallel lines will make angles with each other. So what are the different types of angles? So this is the first category, corresponding angles. So I'm writing here 1 and 2. Okay, so these are corresponding angles. Another, if I take this one line and the other parallel line. Okay, now if I draw transversal, alright, now this angle and this angle. Okay, so I'm writing 3 and 4. Okay, this 3 and 4 are also corresponding angles. Are you following, students? Keep this in mind. Now I'm drawing them separately so that it is easier for you to understand. Okay, otherwise in one parallel and these two set parallels I can mark all these angles 1, 2, 3, 4. It won't be clear. That is why I am marking them separately. Okay, so again we will check for corresponding angles. Okay, angle 1 and angle 2 is corresponding angle. Similarly on the other side, okay, this is on the right side, on the left side of the transversal, angle 3 and angle 4. Now if I take these angles, okay, this angle, alright, and this angle, okay, so 5 and 6. So this is also corresponding angle. Understand it carefully, students. Okay, and the last type for this corresponding angles. Now change the side, okay, change the side where these angles are formed. Okay, see this was on the left side 5 and 6, so I can take here this 6, 7 and 8. So all these are corresponding angles. Are you following, students? Don't forget this because we will be using this concept in the questions. Okay, so angle 1 and angle 2. Okay, so I'm writing here angle 1, angle 2, angle 3, angle 4, okay, angle 5, angle 6, angle 7, angle 8. Okay, this sign, this is notation for angles. By this time you should know, students. Okay, this is notation for angle. Okay, so angle 7, angle 8, so angle 1, angle 2, angle 3, angle 4, angle 5, angle 6, angle 7, angle 8. Okay, so these are corresponding angles. Another important thing you should always keep in mind, students, when these corresponding angles are there, we will tell for another alternate interior angle. I will explain you that also. But for the timing when I am explaining corresponding angles, keep this in mind. Okay, okay, what are the corresponding angles? And if a transversal intersects two parallel lines, then each pair of corresponding angles is equal. Okay, this is theorem of you should, from an Ncert book, keep this in mind. Okay, if a transversal intersects two parallel lines, so this is a parallel line, so transversal, and it is intersecting, okay, these two parallel lines. Okay, I'll just change them so that it will be easy. Okay, this transversal, okay, is intersecting the parallel lines. Okay, and we are getting the corresponding angles 1 and 2. So this angle 1 will be equal to angle 2. Similarly, angle 3 will be equal to angle 4. Similarly, angle 5 will be equal to angle 6. And angle 7 will be equal to angle 8. Okay, I am repeating again. If a transversal intersect two parallel lines, okay, then each pair of corresponding angles is equal. Okay, each pair of corresponding angles are equal. Now when I will tell you for alternate interior angles, then alternate interior angles will be equal. Okay, if I tell you alternate exterior angle, then alternate exterior angles will be equal. Okay, so this will be applied for different types of angles. Okay, so keep this in mind. And whether it is vertically opposite, then also vertically opposite angle will be equal. Okay, so just go through this again, then in the other video I will tell you what are alternate interior angles, alright, what are alternate exterior angles. So study well students, all the best. Okay students, so I will tell you alternate interior angles also, okay, alternate interior angles and alternate exterior angles, okay, so it will be clear with that also. So now I'm writing alternate angles. So in alternate angles we will have alternate interior angles, okay, and alternate exterior angles, okay. So as the name is suggesting student, interior and exterior, so we will have them, okay. Now first understand alternate interior angles, okay. So we will draw parallel lines and this is your transversal, okay. Now see alternate and interior of this parallel line. So interior means inside, so this means this angle and this angle, are you following? Okay, is alternate interior, okay. Let me take this as A and B, so angle A and angle B are alternate interior, okay. Similarly I can draw it on the other side also. I'm going to tell you students, okay. So alternate interior means inside, so inside of the parallel lines, so C and D, okay, these are alternate interior. Now check for alternate exterior, so I'll change the marker in 1 minute, it will be easy for you to look distinguish them, okay. Now if I take these two parallel lines, if I take these two parallel lines, if I draw this transversal, now see the word alternate and exterior. So exterior means outside, so this angle, okay, and this angle, okay, A, B, C, D, E and F, okay. Similarly here alternate exterior, okay, so this means outside, okay, alternate exterior, so this angle and this angle, okay, is alternate exterior, okay. So this you should keep in mind students, okay. These are the different types of angles which we will be using, okay. I'll tell you one more type, what are co-interior and all that also I'll explain it, okay. Now suppose if I draw these parallel lines, if I draw these parallel lines, see on the left side students, can you see? And if I take this as transversal, now interior angles on the same side of transversal, okay, this angle and this angle, interior angles on the same side of transversal, okay, this X and Y, okay, these are what? Interior angles on the same side of transversal. They are also called as co-interior, okay, they're also called as allied angles, okay, and they're also called as consecutive, okay, interior angles, okay. I'm repeating again, interior angles on the same side of transversal, okay, this angle X and angle Y, okay, okay. Similarly you can change this side, let me change the markering, okay. So if I take this angle, okay, green is not visible, okay, I'll change in 1 minute. Now this, okay, this angle and this, okay, interior angles on the same side of transversal, okay, this K and M, okay. So these are the different types of angles students, so corresponding angles, okay, alternate angles, interior angles I've told, exterior angles I've told, co-interior, allied and consecutive. These are synonyms for interior angles on same side of transversal, okay students, don't get confused, okay. Interior angles on the same side of transversal are called as co-interior, allied angles are consecutive interior angle. So go through this video again, and as I have told students, when you are watching the video, math video, sit with paper and pen, okay, write simultaneously so that you understand, okay. So this is for today, then tomorrow we will start with the exercise, but these concepts should be clear, okay. So in the initial beginning I told you what are the parallel lines, what are transversal, all this have been explained, see, okay, parallel lines and transversal. And in this I had explained the corresponding angles, alternate angles, alternate interior angles, alternate exterior angles. So all this we have covered. Go through them, understand carefully, then we'll start solving questions. All the best students, study well. Any problem, always get back to me. Study well. and be good students. Bye.